The government is shut down, but we're wide open here on this Halloween week. I'm pumped. I'm wearing a shirt today that's got boo and scary things on it. Tomorrow I'll probably wear my pumpkin shirt, and then it's dress up. 3 days in a row I'm wearing a costume.
One Hit Wonder Wednesday is going to be a little difficult if we limit it to just one hit wonders.
Well, we're going to have, that's what I was figuring, because obviously we got Bobby Boris Pickett, right? We got the one-eyed, one-eared, flying purple people leader, whatever it is.
Sure looks fine to me.
Yeah, so you've got several of those, but, like Rockwell, somebody's watching me.
Or Iron Maiden, Murder in the Rue Morgue.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. So we're just going to pick Halloween songs. So just deal with our One Hit Wonder Wednesday. We're going to try to find some fun stuff. Don't you worry about that. Melissa, it's the strongest storm of the year.
Global warming.
Global, whatever. Man, it looks,
angry.
It does. Well, it's Melissa. I've met her. She's kind of bitch, but whatever. She's having a rough time, is what I'm saying. Her man left her, and now she's getting large, and she's heading towards the town. Oh, man. Look at the size of that thing. Just realize how small you are as a human being when you see that. The size of that. It is coming, and there is nothing you can do. Trump's like, I could drop a bomb. We've talked about it. It would be fantastic. Remember when he said that? Everybody's like, I can't believe he said. He was not the first person to suggest that, by the way.
We just throw a bunch of Tylenol into the eye of it.
Tylenol? Yeah, we should. Yeah, you should throw some Tylenol into it. Right, Mr. President?
And then the hurricane becomes autistic.
That's right, maybe. Mr. President, what should we do?
I said, well, let's see how we say that. Acetaminophen.
Yeah, those amenofins. You throw those menofins in there, everything's going to be fine. Acetaminophen.
It's not going to be fine. Then you have an autistic hurricane. It's just going to probably be worse.
We don't want an autistic hurricane. That's not very nice. What if it just stands there and just looks right through you? It's better than the last hurricane we had, which had Tourette's syndrome. It just dumped water on us, and the entire time was cussing. It's not very nice, Chad.
That brings up such a funny visual.
I know. There's so many things I could have said there, but I didn't say them.
That's the way to go, Brother Chad.
I was going to say something like, oh, yeah, what do you think? They're going to show up on the short bus? That's not very nice, guys. By the way, my little brother who went to school on a bus, his bus was huge. Because he's got cerebral palsy and all this kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. His bus, we thought it was going to be a smaller bus, not to be mean, but it was a normal bus with no seats because everybody in his school in his classroom.
They had wheelchairs?
All wheelchairs.
So they had, you need a bigger bus then because those, especially the electronic ones, they take up a lot of space.
Yeah. It was funny, too, because the first day that they came to pick him up, my mom's like, oh, don't run out there. The minute it came, I'm like, Mom, it's coming. And all these kids were so excited for the bus. They just got, it's like, oh, man, just living their best little lives.
Yep.
That's
How much did his wheelchair cost?
About 25, 30.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
It's so insane. And it's not electronic.
It's not?
No, it's not electronic because he can't move anything. He can't do anything. I mean, there's nothing that he can do. He can move his hands a little bit, and he does like a lot, and he laughs and stuff, and he recognizes, but his cerebral palsy is so bad, his body is so stiff that he's a board. If I held him out, he would just lay straight. And so, and he can't breathe out of his mouth so he's got a trach. So there was nothing he could do, and we wouldn't let him anyways because he doesn't. So my mom has to push him everywhere. And it is so these things are so expensive. I think to myself, what the hell? What are we paying for? I mean, I see the electronic ones. I understand those.
Well, if a regular one is that much, what are the electronic ones, like 100?
No, they're probably right around the same. This one had to be specially built for his particular dimensions because it also has to be expanded over time because he gets a little bit bigger. But he's kind of full grown now. My mother's had it for a couple of years. But the other wheelchairs are in their 20s and 30s. Some of them, I'm sure, a little bit more. The ones that, like, so when I was out at the Fight DMD thing, that wheelchair, I think, was like $30,000. And I'm just like, but it's electronic. It is. And, and he was zipping around, zipping around doing his thing, which is great. My little brother can't do that. But the bus was kind of entertaining. I'm not going to lie to you. And my mother, the entire time COVID happened, my mom was so upset because she's like, why can't he go to school? Well, he could get COVID. My mom's like, he's fine. He's not going to get COVID. Yes, if he touches his face, he can't touch his face. If he breathes, he's not going to be able to breathe through. He's got his thing on his trach where he can't get anything. I mean, she was so upset because my mom's like, he's falling behind. I'm like, what is he falling behind, Mom? What? Goodness me. I wonder if this giant storm is going to cause issues in our attack of potentially, attack of Venezuela.
They just wait it out.
Yeah.
It'll be gone in the next week.
Yeah. So it is. Yeah. Well,
Or we could do what Trump said, as we're flying in to invade, we bomb the hurricane. Just take a couple extra bombs for the hurricane, then we go in and bomb Venezuela.
Well, of course, as you would do. I mean, we're doing all kinds of things there, right? Like we're pretending, but we're not pretending that don't worry, guys. We're just stretching our legs.
People took notice because certainly this is in Maduro's backyard. And what we're hearing is that President Trump says this is all about counter-narcotics. The government in Trinidad and Tobago says that they are, supportive of this. But of course, we know that most of the narcotics in the Caribbean Sea are actually headed toward Europe. The ones it would be in the Pacific and in Mexico that is headed to the United States.
Lies. Narcotics, lies. I mean, it sounds great, right? And there is a warrant for Maduro. It's from 2020. It is, but fentanyl is the thing that we should worry about in this country. And you know what? Fentanyl, the reason people are addicted to fentanyl, it's opioids. And who's the biggest dealer of opioids in this country? I'll give you a hint. It isn't a cartel from the South. It was Big Pharma. They dealt the hell out of opioids. This last night was also on 60 Minutes. This is very interesting. They went to Venezuela and they had a meeting actually with Maduro planned, and Maduro bounced. Said, no, I'm not going to do it. And he bounced, which is interesting. But they talked to several people there, including this cat.
We met Phil Gunson in Caracas. He's lived in Venezuela for 26 years and is a senior analyst at the International Crisis Group, a non-governmental organization. Gunson is a rarity in Venezuela, an expert willing to speak openly about the government and Maduro's odds of surviving the current crisis.
The asking price is Maduro's head. I mean, he has to go.
And he's still going out to events in front of big crowds. Why is he not in a bunker?
I think because the crowds are the defense. That's my suspicion. Once or twice lately, he's done something quite unusual, which is to hold his events in hotels. Mm-hmm. The U.S. isn't going to kill him in a hotel, obviously.
Apparently, you've never really understood the U.S. I don't think we'd have a problem killing you at a hotel if we thought we could get to you. And I think they can. I think, again, I want to be wrong. I want to think that this is an exercise, but it's not an exercise. You don't move that many people there for an exercise. And sure enough, aren't going to walk away from something that you want to take over and to run and to hold court over, because that's not going to leave you in a good situation. It's going to make it look like back down.
Gunson says even if Maduro steps aside, the transition to democracy would be bumpy at best. Maria Corina Machado, the opposition leader who recently won the Nobel Peace Prize, has been in hiding for months, but has said she has a plan.
There are reports that the opposition says they have this 100-hour plan with the Trump administration for a peaceful transition. Is there any guarantee that the transition will be peaceful?
There's no guarantee at all. And in fact, one of the things that worries me most is that there's been no apparent negotiation with key element in all of this story, which is the Venezuelan armed forces. If the Venezuelan armed forces don't go along with this, and by the armed forces I really mean the high command, the people who give the orders, then there's a possibility perhaps the armed forces might split, there's a possibility they might oppose a new government coming in.
And this is important when it comes to this because he's a pain in the butt for a lot of people. So if you're looking over, South America had this huge, giant push for the last 2 decades. I mean, it's always been to the left in certain areas, but Venezuela should be, once they found, was it the 1800s, early 1900s, they found oil, they became arguably the richest nation in South America. And it was boom or bust, though. So Caracas and all these places would be just everybody be driving, fur coats for the world. And then oil would fall. It's like, we're broke and we got nothing. And then it would come back. And they never bothered to have any other real industry whatsoever. So it was boom or bust. And then he came in, Maduro, after Chavez, takes it all over. We got lots of oil over there that were giant, huge basins that we essentially went over and ran. And Maduro knows that there has been upheaval in several other places, and he wants to quiet that down. Colombia being one of his neighbors, well, what do? Just in case you worry about, would Colombia ever get jumpy about something? Well,
he says well-armed Colombian guerrilla groups that Maduro allows to operate in Venezuela might also resist a change in power.
Is there a scenario that the U.S. has to put boots on the ground to keep order?
I can't see a scenario in which they wouldn't have to put boots on the ground. I mean, if the U.S. is responsible, it's the kind of the Pottery Barn principle, isn't it? If you break it, you own it. You have to protect the government that you just put in power. And that means, I think, thousands of troops.
But Senator Rick Scott doesn't think it will get to that point.
If it all goes to hell, is the U.S. willing to put boots on the ground in Venezuela?
Well, I think the American public is tired of forever wars right now, so I think it's very difficult for us to make a commitment that we're going to do something like that. But I do believe that internationally there would be troops that would go in if they needed to.
Which is, what does that mean internationally? I'm curious. Are we going to get Trinidad's army to go in there and do something? I'm trying to figure out what does internationally mean in this situation. Here's the thing. Should we go in there? Not a fan of it. And it's the Monroe Doctrine, which is you control your hemisphere, and this is the stuff that you hear a lot of people talk about, blah, blah, blah. I thought this was supposed to be, let them fight it out. Let them go to hell in a handbasket, But I know that there's big money involved here. Big dollars. It's not about the drugs. I mean, cocaine is, first of all, cocaine's kind of spendy. So a lot of this gets to Europe, and Australia is the end goal for a lot of people, like Colombia and stuff, because they're far away from cocaine, and they want a Studio 54 like atmosphere. It isn't coming with just regular old meth, because then that's not fun for anybody. So you need some cocaine.
The guy at the door won't let you in because you have no teeth.
That's right. That's not fun. So there is that issue. If we do go in there, we start taking away a lot of China's strength in some ways, but also, guess what? Chances are what's next, which is the end goal for a lot of people, especially the Miami, South Florida contingent, which is Cuba falls. Cuba survives only because of Venezuela.
In Washington, lawmakers are debating the legality of the U.S. military action. Some say the strikes amount to extrajudicial killings. The Trump administration insists they are lawful and self-defense. At the same time, Admiral Alvin Halsey, the head of U.S. Southern Command and the officer in charge of all Caribbean activity, suddenly announced his retirement 2 years ahead of schedule, offering no public explanation and raising more questions about the Trump administration's plan.
If the administration were to turn around all those warships and said, okay, we've done everything we need to do here, what would that mean for President Maduro?
It would be an enormous political triumph for Maduro because he'd be able to say forever afterwards, I stood up to the U.S., I stood up to the empire, as they call it, and the empire retreated.
That's why you can't. You've made this move now, and you've got closing in on 10,000 troops. That's pretty big when you think about it. And yes, Chevron, somebody said Chevron wants their refineries back. All those refineries there. All of those refineries, not just us, by the way, the Brits, several others have refineries there that they took and they run. And man, these guys would love to have them back. It's big money. And when people say, and Matt and I got into this the other day about this, about, well, the Iraq oil, we didn't take any of that. Well, first of all, as you said, Bell, nobody thinks that we just roll up, we just fill up trucks and take them somewhere. That doesn't happen. Secondly, it's not about the oil, it's about the oil companies. Go look and see what happened. The minute Iraq fell in a way where we were secure, we went in and took over all of those things and started to develop it. It's about the oil companies that are ours, more so than the people getting oil. All right, coming up. Man, there's so much good stuff to get to today. Who knows what I'll throw at you next? It'll be fun, I promise you that. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Down. Of watching people complain about Trump's giant, huge, beautiful ballroom. And I thought to myself, first of all, look, are the optics bad? Yeah, a $300 million ballroom right now at a time when people are feeling the sting of the cost of everything going up. He could say that's the greatest economy in the world. It may be, but it doesn't mean that people aren't feeling it. And remember, this is what happened with Biden, right? He would say it was great, and everybody's like, it doesn't feel great. So you can't shoo people off like that. It's just not a good look at this moment in time. That being said, it's a ballroom. Get over it. I mean, I don't know what people, it's a ballroom. I mean, should he have knocked down the East Wing? No, probably not. He shouldn't have. What he said he was going to do, he should have stuck to, but he was never going to. I mean, if he could, I think he'd knock down the entire White House and put something else up there. It'd be gaudy.
Trump Tower.
Yeah, he would. He would. And then watching people go, he's going to stay in power. He's never going anywhere. I'm like, what? He's not going to stay in power.
You don't make that kind of a change if you plan on leaving the house.
Yeah, because the new one is, you know what? The new one is, the reason it costs so much, because, look, go look at the numbers per square feet. It's insane per square feet, like what this is. And that's because it's government. So that's why. But the new one is he's building a bunker underneath because he doesn't plan to leave.
I thought there was already a bunker under the White House.
No, but this one's going to be a Trump bunker where he could stay in power. What do you... and I've asked people this. What do you think's going to happen?
He would have the joystick.
Oh, is that what
controls everything?
No, because he's magic. He's a wizard, Ken.
Oh, well, we know from history that he's not going to leave office. I mean, no, wait, that's not right.
Yeah, he left office, even though he was very upset about it. And it was stolen, and that's another reason we're going after Maduro, because he stole the election from me. He and all those other things that he did.
But they were making constant claims of him being, he's not going to leave office. We're going to need the military to force him out. And he packed up his stuff and left in a huff.
Yeah, he begrudgingly bounced. He was upset. Okay, but he's going to leave. First of all, everybody seems to think that everybody who voted for Trump or who's a Republican is totally fine with him just going on the Constitution and sticking around. And everybody thinks, well, he's got because Bannon spelled it out the other day. If you guys didn't see it, Bannon spelled it out as, well, we've got now that we have the Supreme Court, that it will be able to get to the Supreme Court. And once it gets to the Supreme Court, they'll rule that it only meant 2 consecutive terms, and they'll give him a 3rd term, and that everybody's going to be fine with that. Some people out there listening, a lot of people I know who are super hardcore conservatives and MAGA are like, no, that's not happening.
Bannon just needs to shut up.
Yeah, Bannon loves to troll. And because Bannon also knows once Trump's gone, you're worth.
He's irrelevant at that point.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're irrelevant.
Also, how old is Trump?
He'll be, 83 when he would, if he ran again? 83?
You think at 83 he's going to give a rat's ass about being president again?
No, I don't think so.
He's going to be like, I've got McDonald's grease and for blood, and I better spend what few years I have left with my family.
Yeah. Plus, one of the things you guys forget is, what if next year the midterms are won by the Democrats and they've got strength, and you think you're going to stick around and cancel everything? And one of the other things he pointed out, Bannon, too, is now that certain groups own these machines. Now, like the Liberty Group or whatever, one of these groups owns the voting machines, and everything is skewed to their power, where they're going to monitor every single thing. They're going to look over everything. They're going to have control over all of this stuff. And they may federalize it, which isn't going to happen. The reason that
maybe we'll get a Kraken this time.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
We didn't get no Kraken last time.
We did not. We were Kraken free.
Yeah.
Still waiting for that thing. The Kraken, release it, said George. Was it George?
No, it was that.
Harry Hamlin.
No, it was the woman.
Yeah, Sidney Powell.
Oh, yeah.
Sidney Powell, but in the original movie, no, it was.
Harry Hamlin.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Harry Hamlin, though. It was who played Zeus in the original?
Liam Neeson.
No, the original Clash of the Titans. So
I don't remember.
I think that was Liam Neeson.
No,
not in the 70s.
The 84 one.
Oh.
So, the 81, Jiminy Cricket. It was.
What did I say? 81.
Oh, excuse Laurence Olivier. I've heard of him. Release the Kraken. Well, Sidney Powell didn't release it. Lawrence did. Lawrence is dead now. Coming up, more stuff straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. This is The View. Now, some of you can't understand The View. There's a pitch that they're at that only certain people can hear, and it sounds like that's us. But for a lot of other people out there, you guys will be able to hear some of this, and I apologize. But I think you need to hear the insanity of what we were just talking about.
I always thought, okay, the 22nd Amendment is so clear. You learn in law school, no president can run twice, because it really came into effect in the 40s after LBJ had like 4.
By the way, it's not twice. Right? You can be president twice. That's it. We capped it. There. That's where we cap it.
4 terms.
Roosevelt.
And FDR had 4 terms, and then you had like the other one, Truman, who didn't run for re-election but kind of said that he could. And so we put this into the Constitution for a reason. But when you asked Sotomayor that question, she said, well, it hasn't been tested. And that told me everything that I needed to know, because I think that she is a very faithful constitutionalist. I think that she also understands that the Constitution can be interpreted as a living and breathing thing, as opposed to just sort of this thing that was written eons ago. And so I think, many people who say there's no way he would do it. Well, those are the same people that said the Supreme Court is never going to get rid of Roe v. Wade.
By the way, you could still get an abortion if you want. Is it harder in some areas? Yes. Do they want to get rid of it in some areas? Absolutely. Go look at the numbers of abortions. They just said, we're going to let the states handle it. That was it. We're going to let the states handle it. You don't have to like it. That's what they said.
Those are the people that said things like, he's never going to have these mass men disappearing people all over the country. Those are the same people that said, oh my goodness, are you kidding? He's never going to get rid of the Rose Garden. He's never going to get rid of the East Wing. He's done everything that people thought that he would never do. I actually have come to the conclusion that he is most definitely going to try to remain in power, because remember that East Wing, it's going to take a long time to build that. He is hooking up the White House because he doesn't plan on leaving it.
Well, I told y'all that. I told y'all that years ago. That he had he was not going anywhere. He said it. He said, I want to be president for life. Yeah. I heard him say it. I watched his lips move, and I thought, he means this.
Yeah.
Now, would he like to be president for life? Oh, I think he would. There's no doubt about that. I don't know why. Really, after 4 years, I don't know why you want to do it any longer than that. But alas, here you are. It becomes part of who you are. I think the power is always nice. That being said, they still seem to think he's going to stay. And some people think that. And by the way, I've heard from some of you who text in and go, I'd be fine with the third. I would not. Everybody's like, you guys talk about the Constitution. Somebody just said Constitution. You can't even own a gun in Illinois. You can. All right. It's a 72-hour waiting period. You can own a gun in Illinois. You can. There's certain storage and certain laws the states put in, the cities put in. That's ordinance, but you can still own a gun. So, but this whole thought process, it's the Constitution you always talk about. Yeah, the Constitution's important. It is. Because if we're not going to follow the Constitution, then why should the government follow the Constitution have anything to do with us?
So, just so we're clear, you have nothing to say about any of this. Just understand that, okay? Republicans have pretty much given him free rein up till now. Are they going to let this happen? Are y'all going to let it happen? Just asking.
No, and I don't think Republicans, you short sell Republicans as these people who don't care about the Constitution and worship Trump as a deity. That's not true. That's not real. Do some people out there worship him that way? Yeah, there's a few people out there. I'm not going to lie. I think, Bell, you've texted a few of them back and forth. He can do no wrong.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
But the reality is he is not going to get a third term. It isn't going to happen. It isn't. Because I know more people out there that would fight against him. And we also seem to think that somehow magically that he's just going to say, screw a third term running for it. I'm just going to stay here as king, as emperor. That also is not going to happen. I don't know why people seem to think that that's exactly like, he's just going to stick around forever. Once again, you seem to think that then the government and that the military is going to be like, oh, that's totally fine. Law enforcement, everybody, no, that's totally cool. Although I am curious about the ballroom. I heard somebody say this weekend, think about this, guy. Somebody said this weekend, I thought it was kind of funny. The Democrats should name it the Barack Obama Ballroom. And what's it going to cost to redecorate it?
I don't even know what the budget they give them for redecoration is when they move in to begin with.
I don't know either. I'm curious about that. Because
it's a budget because they're rebuying furniture and drapes and moving stuff around and doing all kinds of things. So It's not cheap.
No, it's not. It's not cheap at all. And somebody's going to, because you're not going to keep it. Even I couldn't even see, like J.D. Vance was like, is he looking? Because I don't want all this gold here. It's not my style. What did somebody say the other day? They texted in and said, J.D. Vance feels more barn-dominium. I thought that was funny. Little barn-dominium right there for J.D. Speaking of president, guess what, guys? He's thinking about running.
The idea that a guy who got 960 on his SAT that still struggles to read scripts, that was always in the back of the classroom, the idea that you even throw that out is in and of itself extraordinary. Who the hell knows? I'm looking forward to who presents themselves in 2028 and who meets that moment. And that's the question for the American people.
Is it fair to say after the 2026 midterms, you're going to give it serious thought?
Yeah, I'd be lying otherwise. I'd just be lying. And I can't do that.
He's already thinking about running for president. We're not even out of 2025.
The guy lies plenty. What is he talking about?
I'd be lying if I said that wasn't going to happen. I mean, I'd be lying. I'd be lying if I said that I've thought about it. In the past, it has crossed my mind, guys, about running for president. You know when he's thought about it? Every day he wakes up and looks in the mirror and he goes, hey, Mr. President, how you doing? God,
everything he's doing right now is image polishing.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because he's trying to polish the turd that he is. And you're right. He's trying to manifest it. You're right, Ken.
He winks and goes, attaboy, Newsom.
Yeah. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And damn it, people like me.
Well, maybe not the third thing, but.
I look enough? Because it's a look enough, too, with him.
I look enough.
Because if you were to go and you say, give me the, like you want the person who would be the ideal, because there is a look, right? We have in mind a certain look for a president. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. It's probably not going to, it's one of the things I've said about Abbott, and I've said it on the radio in all my stations in Texas, is we'll probably never vote for a man in a wheelchair. You could say it's wrong. I'm just telling you something that's true. We tend to vote for a person that's taller than the other people.
If that wasn't true, FDR would not have gone to the massive trouble he did to prevent people from knowing he was in a wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely right there. He did, too. He went to super trouble to make sure that nobody could see that he was in a wheelchair. So there is a look that comes with being president. So let's not pretend that that's not true, because that's absolutely true. Continue, sir.
Governor, you have long said that if you ever run for the White House, you need a compelling why, a reason. Are you moving closer to figuring out your own why and your own decision?
Yeah, Nietzsche said if you have a compelling why, you can endure any how. And so I think the biggest challenge for anyone who runs for any office is people see right through you if you don't have that why. You're doing it for the wrong reasons. And so, that fate will determine that.
You certainly seem to like being on the ground in South Carolina, I have to say that. Seeing you up close, you were having a good time.
I happen to, and thank God, I'm in the right business. I love people. I actually love people.
I love people. I actually love people. You know who else I love? I love me.
I just can't help myself, man. I just love people.
I love me some me. I do. I love me some me. Gotta love me some me. That is just, he wants it so bad. He could just taste it. Oh, it's his dream. It's his dream. But see, Bell was right. He's got to figure out how he polishes the turd of California. Because he's going to come in and go, we're the third largest or fourth largest economy in the globe. You know what? I'm 54. I grew up in California. We were always the third or fourth largest economy. He didn't come in and do something new.
And he never comes up to the mic and goes, I know we're number one in unemployment and homelessness, but let's forget that part.
Yeah, let's forget all the bad. And our city's burned down. And oh, by the way, nobody's rebuilt yet because of red tape. Even, what's his name, Zoran Mandani, did you see? He's done like 50 interviews. And, hey, kudos to him. He went on Fox. And he's gone places that other Democrats won't go, which, again, is a sign the guy's willing, you don't have to like him, but he's willing to put his beliefs out there. But he said, I don't think it should take. If you want to put up an ice cream store, I don't think it should be a thing where it takes you 24 different pieces of paper and filings to put it up. California's like, you're right. We need 75 more pieces. This is why it's expensive to live a place like that. The thing that Texas has is you go there, it's just nonstop building because they know people are coming and they're building. They're building for the future. Other parts of the country, not so much. It's tough to build. They make it tough to build. And so because it's tough to build, you have issues with housing. And that is, you got a ton of demand with very little supply. And because of that, the threat of even bringing new housing in there, the cost is ridiculous. And then they want to rent control. And you can't rent control kills building in a heartbeat. Just crushes it. Just because why would I, Chad Benson Incorporated Inc., Builders ASAP, super duper awesome builders, USA America, want to build somewhere where you're going to limit what I can make. It's going to cost me twice what I think it is. And then you're going to hold my rent at a certain level. So I will always lose money. So what happens? They did this in Minneapolis and St. Paul. They were excited. They're like, yay, we passed rent control. Building stopped that day. And then they're like, well, maybe, 6 months later, prices went through the roof. Why? Because now you had people, no inventory. People have needs, no inventory to fill. So they started chopping down to the point where they just essentially eliminated it without eliminating it. Because they realized if you go and you put stuff like out there and you start to regulate to the point of trying to make it where everybody's going to get a house at this level, people aren't going to build. And you need builders to build. It's that simple. You're not rolling into a place where even if you bought a piece of land in a lot of places, you want to build on it, the cost of doing it now is so ridiculous. Outside of Bell, I wonder what that would cost you if you wanted to build your bunker underneath, because it's nowhere we could be seen. Are you doing it sneaky style?
Well, kind of. I mean, in my head, the budget for it's pretty big, and part of that does include bribes to the inspectors.
Okay, good. That's the right way to do it. That's absolutely.
Because there's some stuff I want done that they would not approve, but you grease the palm and there you go. Suddenly, I've got my underground bunker.
There you go. I'm excited for him on that one. I can't wait to go.
I'm sorry.
There.
Luxury underground
bunker where nobody knows where it's at, because that's the kind of thing that Bell does. All right, coming up, more fun stuff. Got some of your text messages as well. Remember, tomorrow, Hot Take Tuesday. I got my hot take, too. Oh, my hot take.
All right.
I've got it. It's been wrapped up. Bell and I were laughing about it the other day. I'm still ready for this one. And One Hit Wonder Wednesday is going to be a scary Halloween edition of it. Oh, very much so. So they may not be the one hit. We may have to step out of there, but we're going to get you just a Halloween version of One Hit Wonder Wednesday as well. If you have any ideas, send us some of those as well. This is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Oh, taking your text messages. I'm ignorant, Bell. I'm a rhino ignoramus clown.
Well, that's a little harsh.
Well, that's what this. I'm just adding 3 of his text messages up. You sent something to him that was kind of funny. Some of the ignorant comments you make it clear you said Trump probably wants to tear down the White House and build something else. That's called sarcasm. Are we good with that? Do we need to start? You know what we need to do? We need to send up flares. Sarcasm flares.
And you know what? I know that the title says information fueled and opinion driven, but let's just stop with the opinions, okay?
Yeah, let's stop with that.
If you can't show me in a book that it's a fact, just quit it.
And by the way, he said he wasn't going to touch the East Wing. I didn't. Then they tore it down. So I didn't say that. They asked him not to do it, and he did it anyways. That's part of the House. You have Trump derangement syndrome. No, I don't. By the way, Trump derangement syndrome, I try to tell people, it goes 2 ways.
That's actually true.
Yeah. There are people out there that are so sold for Trump that even, some people are texting in about one guy. I know they're kind of joking, but like he needs to outlaw Democrats. And I'm like, that's a dictator. Well, as long as he's got a good heart, and so he can make the world gooder or something like that. It made me laugh because he was kidding, but do I understand it? Another thing you said at a nauseous pace a few weeks ago is that Trump said that Epstein was a hoax. Did he not?
Yeah, he said it was a hoax.
Yeah. He said it was a hoax. That's a lie. He was saying the accusations against him. No, he doesn't. He's saying the Epstein stuff was a hoax. Democrats are hoaxing this thing. I didn't say that. He did. He did. And by the way, he, along with everybody else in his administration, sold the crap out of this thing. And guess what happened? It disappeared for now. For now. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program. Talk a little bit more about health, what you got to do to stay healthy. Also, the science of scares. Woo! There is a science to it, and why it's important to have some of that scare in you. If you missed any of the show, shame me to grab the podcast. Hour number 3 straight ahead. Chad Benson Show.